my name is Khadija Tadeshora, and in my channel I talk about everything related to women, midwifery, midwives. And so today I'm going to be talking about preparing for NHS interview and the commonly asked NHS interview questions. So if this is your first time in my channel or this looks like what you are interested in, then like try to watch the video to the end and make sure you give the video a thumbs up, a like, and also comment your opinion on the video as well. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that before. Then if you are my returning subscriber, thank you, I really appreciate it. So today I'm going to be talking about the preparing for NHS interview. So most of the NHS interview are usually done virtually. So a couple of days prior to the interview, you will be sent the interview link by one of the recruiter who has been in communication with you before the interview date. So you're going to get the interview link. When you get the interview link, make sure you test run the link before your interview day. So most of the time they use different website, different app, or yes, different apps. So sometimes Zoom, I think a couple of them, they don't really use Zoom anymore as much, but they can use Zoom depending on your trust. Team, Microsoft Teams, and there are so many other apps they can use to do the interview, but they're going to send you the link. So when you click on the link, you will be directed to whether you have the app already or if you need to download the app for that interview. So it is very, very important for you to click on the link first on the day that it's sent to you to know if it is working, if it is acceptable by your phone or your mobile, so you'll be able to know what to do before the interview date. And make sure you put the interview date and time in your calendar for reminder so you do not forget the interview. And when they send the link to you, they will ask you if you confirm if you accept the interview slot and if you'll be available. So make sure you do all of that as well to confirm your slot for the interview. If you will not be available for the interview on the set day, don't forget to email them and tell them you will not be available, and you will appreciate if the interview can be rescheduled. So if they have opportunities to reschedule, they will do that for you. Make sure you send them your honest opinion regarding the interview dates and time. So if you'll be available or if you will not be available, and most of the time they will reschedule it for you if you are not available at that particular day that they picked for you. So after test running the interview in the interview link, the next thing you need to do is to prepare for the interview. So I'm going to be listing the commonly asked NHS interview question that you can prepare for prior to your interview day. The most commonly, like every interview you have with the NHS, they will mostly ask you to introduce yourself. So you need to prepare on how you're going to answer the question, introduce yourself to the panel. And most of the time, the panel usually consists of the HR personnel and your 9 managers. Most of the time, you could have minimum of 2 interviewers, and you could have maximum of 5 interviewers. At times, most of them all of them have questions for you, and at times just 2 or 3 of the panels have questions for you. So you need to prepare yourself for this introduction question. So another thing you need to know about this introduction question is that they already have your applications, they have your details, so you don't need to lie during this interview. So you need to say everything honestly about yourself, and of course you're starting from your name and where you're coming from, where you are professionally, and all of that. You can make sure you prepare for these introductory questions. Another question that is most common that you could be asked is, why do you want to work for this trust? So when they ask you this question, before the interview day, make sure you have read about the trust values. So when you are answering this question, you put in that there. So if, for instance, if they did not put it that, why do you want to work with this trust? And they put it that, why did you want to work in the NHS? Then you can as well prepare for that, how to answer that question. So it can be, why do you want to work for this trust, or why do you want to work with the NHS or in the NHS? Do you understand? So for instance, you can say that you want to work in an environment that foster, development, both professional development and teamwork, and that you are interested in teamwork, and you appreciate you would like to work in an environment that that encourage teamwork, professionalism, and career continuous professional development. And most of trusts do that, and NHS do that as well. You can also say that you want to work in an environment that you can provide, that have all the equipment or the requirement you need to provide excellent or outstanding patient care, or anything, or to render any, like, you just have to package yourself. So you have to say the reason why you want to work with the trust, or why you want to work with the NHS. And it's usually good to answer this question using the NHS trust values, or the NHS your particular trust value. So you just input that in your question, and the values differ from one NHS to the other. So you have to read about the NHS trust that sent you an interview invite for you to be able to answer this question. So another question, commonly asked question, is that, how will you deal with a difficult patient? They usually ask this question because NHS, of course, patients are difficult everywhere, not only in the NHS. So you must, as a professional, you must know how you'll be able to deal with them, and you must be able to convince your interviewers that you are aware of this and you know how to deal with them. So most of the time, you can say that you practice following your training and operational guidelines of the NHS, of the trust, and you will listen to the patient concerns, and you try to calm them. When you listen to their concern, you calm them, and you will explain to them how you're going to solve the problem in a timely manner. And of course, you escalate whatever happens to your senior midwife. And you can also, when the patient is calm, you can go back to ask them what they think you can do better or something. So make sure you prepare for this question, because it's part of the commonly asked questions in the NHS. How will you do with a difficult patient? So, and I've said that I will answer is that I will make sure that I practice it following the training operational guidelines, and NHS guidance, and make sure you listen to the patient's concern. It's very, very important, because patients that is difficult or something, they have a concern. So you have to listen to their concern, and you have to plan on how you will solve the problem, and you also maintaining safety and confidence while you are doing all of that. So another question that you can be asked, especially this question is for midwives, most of the time they do ask that, what are the expectations of the women from midwife? Like, what are the expectations of UK women from the midwife? That are the women expecting the midwives to do for them? So you need to be able to know how to answer that question. I think I was asked that question, and what I said was that I have read, of course, then I'm not in the UK, that I have read about the women expectations in the UK from the midwife, and I know that the women want, the midwife to explain the the care they are rendering to them and allow them to make an informed decision. So you are expected to explain the side effects and the benefits of each care you are rendering to them, and you give them chance to say whether they actually want to go this way or they will decide to go this way. So this a typical example is considering a cesarean section, when there is a kind of maybe fetal distress or something. So you have to tell the patient what will happen if she continue, what might happen if she continue in labor, and what might happen if she go for cesarean section. So you are not expected to tell them that okay, this is the situation and the best thing for you to do is this. Now you have to give them option and you allow them to make their informed decision. So that is that. And don't forget that when you're preparing for your interview, you make sure that you are in an environment that is not free, and you have in a nice background, and you are neatly dressed, and you are logged onto the side minimum of 10 minutes before the scheduled time for the interview. So that is the end of this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you in my next video. Bye.